Studios presents Common Censored.
Of course there's some wasteful spending, but you don't use a meat axe and cut everything.
America, fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah! America, fuck yeah! Freedom is the only way, yeah!
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Common Censored. I say you do use a meat axe. You chop it all up into little bits and pieces. LFG. Welcome back, all of you censored commoners. I'm Lord Sterling, and this is episode 346. JFK files digitized and released by the National Archives. France threatening Russia with nukes. Russia's not too happy about that one. We got Trump plotting a potential Ukraine overthrow. At least that's what the left will say, as he meets in secret with Zelensky opponents, allegedly, to plan a new election over in Ukraine. Trump has also stripped lawyers of security clearances from Perkins Coie, the lawyer group that's always working with the Clintons on dirty stuff. Dirty deeds done probably pretty expensively, on not dirt cheap, like AC/DC style, right? We also have a new moon landing. Tim Burchett saying the Epstein files probably don't even exist, or they've been doctored and altered at this point, so we can't trust even whatever comes out. And U.S. support of Israel at an all-time low. Make sure to join us Monday through Friday, 6:45 p.m.-ish Eastern time, as we cover all the crazy clown world clusterfuck chaos that is 2025. Use hashtag Common Censored and hashtag Info Infantry where applicable. When you share the show, you can find us on X at Lord Sterling _. We're also on Truth, Getter, Gab, and Minds. Thank you to our new followers over on Rumble. Appreciate you guys. Links to all the sources for all the content we covered today will be posted down in the video description on Rumble after the broadcast, as well as in the replies underneath the X broadcast feed. And Mama Mac will be adding timestamps. So if you're watching this later on and need to maximize the efficiency of your time, focus, and attention, click on down there, skim through the topics that we cover, then jump right to the point in the show where we cover the things you want to hear about. Thanks, Mama Mac. Appreciate you. Throw Mama Mac some love over at alplama.com, ALPLAMA.com, your new herbal health guru. Avoid the petrochemical pharmaceutical industry that wants you sick and dependent. Try some natural tinctures to remedy your ailments. They taste bad, but they're so good for you, right, Mama Mac? And if you want to support the show, you can hit up our link tree at Common Censored, where you can find our affiliate link to Golden Cocoon EMF clothing and protection. Pick up a modern-day, newfangled tinfoil hat for the most discerning of conspiracy realists. You can also find our merch, ways to donate, etc. over there. We do read Rumble rants throughout the broadcast as well, so if you want to make your voice heard, feel free to click that big, beautiful Rumble rant button down there. Disclaimer. Views expressed on Common Censored are only opinions. Assume everything we say is false and research for yourself. We're not giving medical, legal, or financial advice. The only advice we are giving is think for yourself. Question authority. Think for yourself. Question authority. Boom! That's right, the Reaper. Allegedly. All right, let's jump into today's topics. Let's start off with a little bit of fun over here. Where is my link? Grab the wrong link to start the show. Here we go. We had a whole bunch of funny memes dropping after the unofficial State of the Union the other day. We have a post here from Julio Rosas. Not familiar with Julio Rosas, but this post is great. Landed back at Joint Base Andrews with VP Vance. I can confirm Vance has seen many of the memes / edits of his pictures and thinks it's a funny trend. At the Blaze. I hadn't seen this before, but apparently this is going down. So let's scroll through here and check out some of these memes. They are hilarious. FAFO. So this is one of the pictures that was trending of him over at State of the Union. We've seen this one already, but there are a lot of new ones that are dropping here. Here's Braveheart. And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance? Just one chance to come back here and ask our enemies, have you said thank you once? Oh man. Like oh man. I don't even know what this is making fun of, but this is a hilarious one right here. JD Vance looking like a crazed mountain man over there at the State of the Union. Afuera, he says, with the grimace. Oh man, these are so good. Show me on the JD Vance where the mean meme hurt you. Fee fa fo fum. Meme FAFO emphasized in the middle over here. The Jolly Green Giant JD Vance. Hilarious. Have you said thank you once? I don't understand. This one, I'd chime in with haven't you people ever heard of ending the goddamn war? Emo Vance? Emo Vance over there. They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom. Another Braveheart JD Vance meme. Instead of the Bee Gees, the JDs, staying alive, staying alive. Oh man, they're so funny. I don't really care, Margaret. What you think? Ukraine, FA. Trump and Vance, FO. That's a good one too. Oh man, Vance. This time, he's fighting for your lives. First blood. Oh man, Rambo over here. This Tombstone over here. Say when, Margaret. I'll be your Huckleberry. I'll be your Huckleberry. Oh man, the chubby JD Vance over here face cracks me up, man. They got JD in all these different forms. He hasn't even reached his final form at this phase of the program. More emo Vance. So many good ones. So JD Vance's Archie Bunker. Hamilton. JD worked harder by being a lot smarter. By being a self-starter. Vamilton. There's a million things I haven't done. But just you wait. Just you wait. Oh, this one is so good. This is this like the Las Vegas Eye? Is that what this is supposed to be? Just with a giant, bald, chubby JD Vance head. Oh, no. Hillary Clinton JD Vance. Too brutal, man. Iron Vance. That's a pretty good one. The life and times of JD Vance. Instead of Bagger Vance, I'm guessing. Oh, man. So, look at this one. There he is. There he is doing his thing. Oh, here's a good one. JD Vance chilling with some Mountain Dew, playing some Halo. Fuck yeah. That's a good JD Vance right there. Look at that chubster. Look at that chubster just hanging out, having a good time. What's this one? Who's he supposed to be here, man? Who is he supposed to be here? I don't even know, but it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Brown Vance, we got Disco Vance over here. Oh man, this is a good one. The dude, Vance as the dude. I'm not the vice president. I'm the dude, man. I'm the dude, man. So, so I don't know what triggered this, but, but this is too good, man. Too good. I don't know what this one is either, but it's gonna be my new wallpaper on my phone. I'm guessing. Oh. Cass, maybe Vivek. That was probably a Vance Vake, something like that over there. What the hell? This post is 100% fact check true by McPatriots with a Q in there. Oh man, so good. Apu token shit posting license. JD Vance with his I like these. Remember these hats? They had like the propeller spinning on the top. So funny. JD Vance toys with a Minecraft sword. The kids just love JD Vance. He's the Minecraft hero of our era. Mama Mac saying, I'm enjoying watching Gen Z take power and meme. Fire the meme cannons! Oh, look at this one. I don't. Field of JDs. Is this a Bob Ross painting over here? Let's draw some happy JDs. Nice happy JDs. Oh, man. The cash photo where he's grilling you. In this official picture over here, I have it in the background of all of our thumbnails for the show, lurking underneath the common sensor. Look at JD in the background over here. Cash is freaked out. That's hilarious. That's a I don't know. I don't understand that one. But we got Ric Flair. Woo! Woo! With JD. JD in full wrestling form over here. No idea what's going on. Oh, this has got to be one of the best ones from Aristophanes. JD Vance, Unabomber mugshot. He was right all along, guys. He was right all along. Grok generated. That's a good one. Oh, here's some Bob Ross action. Holy fuck. Please and thank you, says Bent at Dr. Bent INU. Oh, man. That's hilarious. Vance is the new Pepe, guys. And we have a rare Vance over here. Holy hell. What is that? What is that? Rare Pepes matched only by rare Vances. Oh, man. Yeah, someone's saying nobody's done him on this one yet. We need Vance's face on this one for sure. Like, not even an edit. Is this a real picture? Oh, my God. Oh, man. Holy balls. Holy balls. Gotta catch them all, guys. Gotta catch them all. All of the JD Vance Pepes. You gotta catch them all. Vansamons. Oh, man. Game Boy Ed Vance. Excuse me. Still dealing with some lung trauma over here. I don't understand that one either, but these are great. These are great. All right. Enough fun. Let's get into the news for the day. I'll post the link for this in the chat if you guys want to save it to explore later. There's a whole lot of these, whole lot of good ones. So save that link. It will also be, obviously, of course, in the description after the video. Let's jump into the news. We have JFK files being digitized and released by the National Archives. This broke last night. National Archives has digitized and made available online the records related to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, as announced by Rep. Anna Paulina Luna. These documents, which include materials from the Warren Commission, are now accessible to the public. Discussions and anticipation around the declassification and release of additional JFK files have been highlighted by several political figures, though specifics regarding the availability of these documents still require confirmation. So here's the post from Anna Paulina Luna. All declassified JFK documents will be housed at the link below. As soon as releases begin, you'll be able to access them on this website. Please bookmark it. And thank you at U.S. National Archives for working quickly to get this up. I, GOP Oversight, and Rep. Eli Crane will be meeting with DNI Gabbard in the AM to discuss the timeline for document releases. Radical transparency is what the American people mandated, and this is what they will get. So, bam! There's a press release, and here is the website at the National Archives. National Archives launches new website for President John F. Kennedy assassination records. And actually, look at this. Came out February 28th. So now it's actually going to start coming out, I guess. Pretty cool. To further its commitment to maximum transparency, the National Archives today launched a new website landing page that provides easy access to the President John F. Kennedy Assassination Records Collection. This website can be accessed at www.archives.gov/JFK. Boom. This website was already, this webpage will host already released documents and items within the collection and will be the future home of documents and items to be released. This web page was created in response to Executive Order 14176, titled, quote, Declassification of Records Concerning the Assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which was issued by DJT. 47 on January 23rd, 2025. The assassination collection consists of more than 6 million pages of assassination-related records, photographs, motion pictures, sound recordings, and artifacts. The vast majority of this collection has been declassified and is already available to the public either online or in person at National Archives in College Park, Maryland. The National Archives has begun a concerted effort to digitize all released records in the President John F. Kennedy assassination collection in 2023. Those efforts are ongoing and have been prioritized since the issuance of Executive Order 14176. To date, National Archives has digitized over 700,000 pages of records in the collection. Those records within this collection that are already open but may not yet be digitized are available for the public to access at the National Archives facility in College Park, Maryland. Information on how to access these records in person is given on the webpage. Appointments are encouraged but not necessary. The National Archives is ready to receive and process any further declassification decisions made by President Trump or by other agencies of the U.S. government. All released records in the collection will be made available online through the National Archives catalog and on an ongoing rolling basis following each release determination. Boom. Archives.gov/research/JFK. The President John F. Kennedy Assassination Records Collection. We'll be paying attention, seeing what comes out, if anything major actually drops, if it's all been scrubbed. Roger Stone said that he was in discussions with Trump, that he had seen damning stuff in here that was pretty bad. So hopefully some of that stuff is in there, possibly incriminating the CIA and maybe other international institutions or other foreign groups like Mossad, probably. So we will be keeping our eyes on that. Let's hop back over and see what else people are saying. Shadow of Ezra, Rep. Anna Paulina Luna reveals new JFK files will be publicly released on National Archives website. Instead of a limited selective rollout, the newly declassified documents will be accessible to everyone, with every single file said to be included. And so this is what I was hoping for, that we would get two things: Trump declassifying everything and all of that being dropped online, and then simultaneously Anna Paulina Luna's task force analyzing and coming up with you know, with a take on what exactly happened with all these various declassifications. Tim Kennedy, who's been in deep with the Trump admin, hanging out at the White House and everything, he's talking about it too, saying, "Buckle up, preparing to declassify and release the JFK assassination files. This will be the link when they're finally made public." So there is his post over there. Tim Kennedy, pretty awesome dude. He was on that TV show Hunting Hitler on History Channel, I think it was, like around 2012 era. And he personally was going down to Argentina and discovering locations where the Nazis had fled after the war, and even during the war, settling down in Argentina, and had taken over this bicycle factory and were using it to manufacture TNT and explosives. And they discovered these big abandoned Nazi military facilities in the jungle, and he found Hitler's mansion on this lake down there and everything. Really interesting stuff. MMA fighter, just an overall pretty cool dude. And so good to see him getting involved with a new admin, in my opinion. So that's pretty fun. Pretty fun stuff over there. Let's see. I don't think we really have any information about what's going on yet. Oh, look at this. This is Jones. We'll get into this in a little bit, but Jones backing Ian Carroll, talking about how Epstein files are related to Mossad. Pay attention to the smear campaigns and hate propaganda that gets put out towards me, because he was talking about publicly available information. We read that post yesterday. Now Jones has come out backing it, saying Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and her father were all Israeli intelligence operatives. And this fact is well documented. And here, Anomaly piping in saying, if this is true, do people get how crazy it is that our government is policing anti-Semitism while botching the file release? If Epstein were around, he'd probably be using them to shield criticism as anti-Semitic, just like I showed that quote from the from the former Israeli education minister saying, yeah, it's a trick. If they call us out on criminal activity, we just scream anti-Semitism. Brutal. I don't know if there's a time frame yet, Dozer, but we will keep up with that whole situation. I don't know why that's in with the JFK trending topic over here. But this is pretty exciting, guys. Pretty exciting. Hopefully we actually get some good information. Trump declassifies JFK in first 100 days. Polymarket betting currently at 74%, 73-ish% chance. I don't, at least when this screenshot was taken last night. It's probably up higher right now. Let's hop over and check. Polymarket, let's see. How do you search on here? JFK. I've never really explored this website before. Ah, here we go. Let's see. JFK, 100 days. Will Trump declassify? How did JFK 100 days not show up in that search? Let's check it out. Currently at 73%. 73%. So there we go. We'll pay attention to that, see what happens. We will definitely be looking forward to hopefully getting some new information. Let's jump into our next topic over here from @RealAlexJones with a clip of Owen Schroyer talking about Tim Burchett. Rep Tim Burchett casted doubts on the Epstein files transparency, saying, quote, "I don't think they exist anymore. They've been doctored. We shouldn't trust anything that comes out. I'll believe it exists when I see it." Jones saying these files and evidence do still exist within the deep state network of intelligence agencies so they can maintain their puppeteering blackmail operation of elected officials, celebrities, philanthropists, and the scientific community. So they're still out there, but they're probably extremely difficult to access. And as they're going to talk about here, Mossad probably still has it all.
The files and whatever operation Epstein was running, that does still exist. Whether the United States government has any of it or whether any of the raids that the FBI or any other law enforcement mechanisms went in there to get the videotapes and all that, that's likely all been destroyed. But whoever was really running the blackmail operation, whoever was really running it, whatever intelligence assets in foreign countries, Mossad, MI6, they still have everything. Somebody still has that blackmail.
Got the Pink Floyd shirt on today. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall.
You don't get rid of your entire tranche of blackmail that allows you to be the puppet master, that allows you to control all these significant political movements all over the planet. So you don't just get rid of that. That's your ace.
You hide
up your sleeve. So somebody still got them. Could be gone from the U.S. Wouldn't be surprised if they got rid of it just like they did Epstein. But no, those tapes, those files, whatever other intelligence agencies he was working with, they've got something.
I was on with Geraldo last night, and he says he don't think it exists. I don't think it exists anymore. I think they've doctored it, and I don't think we shouldn't trust what comes out. I just think it's they've delayed it, and there was no and she was way over her skis when she said that it's sitting on my desk. Now, why was
they've had so much time to doctor it? They could have put Trump's name in there all over the place, just riddled it all throughout the files. It's a sketchy situation from every angle, man.
Why would she say that? Why would she say that? I mean, she's big dogging it, and it blew up in her face. That was a stupid move.
So apparently a big dump truck full of evidence came into the DOJ after some key firings in the FBI. Do you believe that?
Yeah. I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay.
It's just like the Kennedy files and the UFO files and RFK and JFK. Yeah, it's just it's been too long, and all of a sudden, we're going to look at President Trump starts raising Cain about John F. Kennedy, and all of a sudden they find 14,000 new files just
out of the blue. Wood Geek saying back in the 80s, walking through the high school singing it as another prick in the wall when the president or the principal was near. What? Just singing the song, sir. We don't need no education.
It's out of the blue. I mean, it's like, what is this? Raiders of the Lost Ark, warehouse that they got this stuff in. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's a cover up. The sewer is groaning right now because of Donald J. Trump. I just pray he stays healthy.
Representative Tim Burchett says Epstein files don't exist anymore, says any release is doctored and can't be trusted. Representative Tim Burchett went on the Benny Johnson show where he made this comment, clip one.
What the hell's going on with this list, man?
Epstein.
What's going? You know, I had to ask.
I'm glad you did.
It's probably the only guy I'm going to ask because I love you.
Well, because, and I think.
What's going on there?
I was on with Geraldo last night, and he says he doesn't think it exists. I don't think it exists anymore. I think they've doctored it, and I don't think we shouldn't trust what comes out. I just think it's they've delayed it, and there was no and she was way over her skis when she said that it's sitting on my desk. Now, why the heck would she say that? Why would she say that? I mean, she's big dogging it, and it blew up in her face. That was a stupid move.
So apparently, a big dump truck full of evidence came into the DOJ after
She went in there confident, like she thought that it was all going to be delivered. Said that she got it, and then was like, "Fuck, they didn't give me like anything."
There are some key firings in the FBI. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
I think so, Omega.
Just like the Kennedy files and the UFO files.
Burchett's legit.
RFK and JFK.
He's been pushing for the UFO stuff. He's been pushing for the JFK stuff, for the Epstein stuff. I think Burchett is legit in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, it's just it's been too long, and all of a sudden, we're going to look at President Trump starts raising Cain about John F. Kennedy, and all of a sudden they find 14,000 new files just out of the blue. I mean, it's like, what is this? Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Castro.
Raiders
of the Lost Ark
warehouse that they got this stuff in. I don't know.
Yeah, Bondi should resign, and they should put Matt Gaetz back in there. That's what we need. We need Gaetz just ripping and shredding. That's what I would like to see.
It's ridiculous. It's a cover up. The sewer is groaning right now because of Donald J. Trump. I just pray he stays healthy.
I think we're all agreeing with Tim Burchett, at least most of us are right now, as far as the Epstein files are concerned. But again, is it a coincidence that Trump used the exact same phrase, or did Burchett put that phrase in his head when talking about Pam Bondi? Now, aside from that, I think that at this point, the likelihood that anything significant as far as the Jeffrey Epstein blackmail island operation, anything else is concerned, has probably been destroyed. And that was probably years ago. I mean, they killed him in his prison cell, and the cameras all went off. The data got corrupted. So, I mean, really, you don't think people are going in there and destroying all the significant evidence? And who knows, maybe Burchett is onto something too about them rewriting it and giving you fake stuff. But the files and whatever operation Epstein was running, that does still exist. Whether the United States government has any of it, or whether any of the raids that the FBI or any other law enforcement mechanisms went in there to get the videotapes and all that, that's likely all been destroyed. But whoever was really running the blackmail operation, whoever was really running it, whatever intelligence assets in foreign countries, Mossad, MI6, they still have everything. Somebody still has that blackmail. You don't get rid of your entire tranche of blackmail that allows you to be the puppet master, that allows you to control all these significant political movements all over the planet. So you don't just get rid of that. That's your ace up your sleeve. So somebody still got them. Could be gone from the U.S. Wouldn't be surprised if they got rid of it just like they did Epstein. But no, those tapes, those files, whatever other intelligence agencies he was working with, they've got something. And whoever whatever the main center of it was, most people believe Mossad, they likely have everything. But Epstein probably had his own thing going. And then you had the MI6, you had the CIA, and then Mossad was the big one. That's kind of where he inherited the whole operation, was from Maxwell's father. The tapes are still out there. Somebody's got that. You don't just get rid of it. Somebody's got it.
I don't see it in Discord, Threeper.
Does anybody in the U.S. still have it? I don't know. Are we ever going to see it? At this point, I remain doubtful. Owen Schroyer here.
Boom. Owen Schroyer, listen to what he
Host
says
of
here.
the InfoWars War Room, the fastest 3 hours on the internet. Fast-paced, breaking news coverage.
What's faster? War Room with Owen Schroyer or Common Censored? Let's jump into the next one. Just in, federal judge denies U.S. aid contractors emergency temporary restraining order to block Trump's termination of their contracts. Suck it, U.S. aid. A federal judge on Thursday denied a motion for a temporary restraining order that would have reinstated fired U.S. aid contractors. U.S. District Judge Carl Nichols, a Trump appointee, said the contractors failed to prove they would face irreparable harm that would warrant immediate relief. The judge also said it is a contract dispute. Booyah, Kyle Cheney, saying Judge Nichols has denied U.S. aid contractors an emergency restraining order blocking the mass termination of their contracts, saying they haven't shown the type of irreparable harm that warrants relief. It's essentially a contract dispute, he said in court this AM. The Hill reported, same thing, declined to immediately spare U.S. aid contractors from mass firings, letting move forward a core part of the Trump administration's effort to dismantle the agency. U.S. District Judge Carl Nichols said the USAID's personnel services contractors failed to prove they face irreparable harm and a likelihood of success on the merits, denying their motion for a TRO that would have returned fired contractors to employment and allowed them to resume work. The judge said any harm the contractors face is, quote, directly traceable to changes the government has made to their contracts, suggesting relief should be sought through a different avenue. The Personal Services Contractor Association, an advocacy group for U.S. personal services contractors, sued the Trump admin last month to insulate the contractors from efforts to tear down the agency. Tear it down, I say. Rip it apart. In court filings, lawyers for the contractors said notices of contract termination had been distributed to possibly hundreds of the roughly 1,100 contractors who work for USAID, some 46% of whom work overseas. So this is pretty good. Good little bit of news over there. And to balance that out, let's do a little bit of bad news. Just in, fired Biden-appointed chairwoman of Merit Systems Protection Board reinstates 6,000 probationary workers. How are you going to say that the executive and the executive branch can't fire people? Like, it's insane. They're the judges are trying to take over this country, man. You can't tell the executive branch, the executive, what to do in the executive branch. Anderson Inc. What's up, Sean? Good to see you, brother. You summoned any UFOs lately? Let us know in the chat. If you need a tattoo and are in Connecticut, check out my boy Sean over at Anderson Inc. You can find his Anderson Inc. tattoo studio page over on Facebook. So, nearly 6,000 probationary workers at the Department of Agriculture were reinstated on Hump Day after fired Biden holdover Hampton Dellinger fought to restore the employees. Trump admin recently fired thousands of probationary workers at the Department of Agriculture. Trump also fired Hampton Dellinger last month. What a name, Hampton Dellinger. It's like the most yuppie name you could possibly have, right? But corrupt Obama-appointed Judge Amy Berman Jackson reinstated him. The D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals has since allowed his firing to proceed. We got an article about that coming up, too. In the meantime, however, Hampton Dellinger sought to block President Trump from firing the thousands of probationary employees. Hopefully they just fire him again now that Hampton Dellinger is gone. So, Kathy Harris, the Biden-appointed chairwoman of the Merit Systems Protection Board, who was also fired by Trump, then reinstated by another corrupt Obama judge, ordered the reinstatement of the 6,000 employees. Judge Contreras, an Obama appointee, granted a permanent injunction on Tuesday, reinstating Kathy Harris. This is fucking insane, dude. How are they going to say that the president can't fire people in the executive branch? And then things like the Impoundment Control Act, where they say that the president can't not spend money that Congress sends him. They did that in like 1978, shifting the balance of power and the separation of the three branches of government. Newsflash, if you want to alter the separation of powers, you need a constitutional amendment. 1978 Impoundment Control Act, in my opinion, is unconstitutional and therefore does not need to be followed. The Office of Special Counsel prosecutes cases before the Merit Systems Protection Board, so Kathy Harris worked with Hampton Dellinger to reinstate the fired workers. So these fuckers are coming back. Here's the article about Hampton. Hamster Dellinger backs down, ends legal battle against Trump after D.C. Circuit Court allows the firing to proceed. Looks like some kind of meerkat or something. Hampton Dellinger has finally backed down and ended his legal battle against President Donald J. Trump. President Trump fired Hampton Dellinger, the special counsel for the Office of the Special Counsel, last month. However, Biden holdover continued to fight Trump in court and was successful because the case was assigned to a corrupt Obama judge. However, the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals on Wednesday evening allowed President Trump's firing of Hampton Dellinger to proceed. The appeals court granted a motion to stay Amy Berman Jackson's order reinstating the Biden holdover. The three-judge panel included Henderson, George W. Bush appointee, Millett, an Obama appointee, and also Loki's favorite treat. She loves to eat millet. And Walker, who was a Trump appointee. Following the ruling from the D.C. Circuit Court, Hampton Dellinger said he is ending his legal fight with Trump, saying, quote, "I'm ending my battle. So my time as special counsel and head of the U.S. Office of Special Counsel is now over," Hampton Dellinger wrote in a statement reported by Politico. Hampton Dellinger said he wouldn't likely win the battle in the Supreme Court. Here's the rest of Hampton Dellinger's statement. Quote, "My fight to stay on the job was not for me, but rather for the ideal that OSC should be, as Congress intended." Bullshit. "An independent watchdog and a safe, trustworthy place for whistleblowers to report wrongdoing and be protected from retaliation." Guess what? Congress can't alter the balance of the separation of powers by creating independent entities within the executive branch via regular legislation. It would require a constitutional amendment to alter the separation of powers. Why? Has it been so difficult for the Supreme Court and for everybody to understand over the past century? They've convinced us we're a democracy and Congress can just vote for anything with a basic 51% majority. It's not true. You need an amendment. You can't just have Congress creating entities in the executive branch that don't answer to the executive branch. It's completely insane. It's total clown world, man. Clown world like Loki flying down by my feet over and over and over and just crawling around like a weirdo. "Now I will look to make a difference," he says, "as an attorney, a North Carolinian, and an American in other ways. I'm stopping the fight because yesterday, circuit court judges reviewing the trial court decision in my favor granted the government's request that I be removed from office while the case continues." You just sneezed on me too, Loki? "This new ruling means that OSC will be run by someone totally beholden to the president. Good for the months that would pass before I could get a final decision from the U.S. Supreme Court. Good. People in the executive branch have to answer to the executive unless there's a constitutional amendment to do something else." Like, insane. Marbury versus Madison. Any law repugnant to the Constitution is null and void. It's null and void. And then I can never remember the other Supreme Court case where they said that if a law is constitutional, you don't have to obey it, even before the Supreme Court makes the decision that it's unconstitutional. If it's unconstitutional, it was always unconstitutional. So, DTD, I think the circuit judges erred badly because blah, 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 fucking blah. If you want to read this loser's lame-ass opinion, you can read the article. Link will be in the description after the show. But, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and nobody wants to hear Hamster Dillingers. Nobody wants to hear it. How about this? Updated Trump appointments from Threeper posted in the chat. Looks like there are some changes or things. I don't know. I don't see anything. Susie Wiles was already chief of staff, right? Lee Zeldin was already EPA. Elise Stefanik, was she already the UN ambassador? Tom Homan was definitely already the border czar. These, I think, were already all the same, except for Mike Huckabee. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what we have here. A statement. This is from November 12th, 2024. Mike Waltz. So that's not necessarily applicable immediately. November 12th. This is a post from November 12th, 2024, Threeper. So I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to be. We will come back to this. Yeah, this is a post from November 12th, 2024. So it looks a little outdated. Let me know if you figure out what's going on over there. Ambassador to Israel, Mama Mac, Mike Huckabee. Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on. How about this? I just saw this right before the show started, posted by Khaleesi over here with what's her face? Daenerys Targaryen with glowing eyes over here. Posting, breaking, American Senator Lindsey Graham, his asshole, is accused of, quote, having sex with gay sex workers. Whoa. Whoa. Did you guys hear anything about that? This is the first I'm hearing of this right now. Lysander. Probably referencing Lysander Spooner. Look him up. 0 people are surprised by this. Lindsey Graham, a gay boy? Wouldn't surprise me, man. Wouldn't surprise me. Let's see what we got next on the list. Oh, this is a good one, too. Another little piece of good news for you guys. Trump strips security clearances of employees at Perkins Coie, the DNC law firm linked to Hillary and the bogus Russia dossier. Good stuff. You just love to see it, writes Christina Layla at the Gateway Pundit. President Trump on Thursday stripped security clearances of the employees at DNC law firm Perkins Coie. Recall that Hillary Clinton and the DNC paid law firm Perkins Coie more than $1 million to hire Oppo research firm Fusion GPS to peddle the bogus Trump-Russia dossier. During the 2016 election, former British spy Christopher Steele compiled over a dozen memos alleging the Russians had blackmail on Trump, the PP dossier. Trump, the germaphobe. Yeah, right. He's not having Russian hookers pee on him. Insane. Oh, sounds good, Threeper. If you find what you were looking for, just let me know, brother. And claiming that his associates were conspiring with the Kremlin to win 2016. Memos were made into a largely debunked dossier published by BuzzFeed. So now we have an update as President Trump signs an executive order suspending security clearances for employees at Perkins Coie, which played a huge role in the Russia hoax, saying this is an absolute honor to sign. Let's check out the video here.
Sir, your administration has made it a priority both to end lawfare and the weaponization of government, and also to hold those who have engaged in lawfare accountable. One of the law firms that has been involved in that is called Perkins Coie. That's also a law firm that has engaged in unlawful DEI practices. This executive order will suspend security.
And I've watched it take place.
This executive order will suspend security clearances and access to certain federal resources for that law firm, and also launch a holistic review of unlawful DEI practices at some of the nation's largest law firms.
This is an absolute honor to sign. What they've done is it's just terrible. It's weaponization. You could say weaponization against a political opponent, and it should never be allowed to happen again.
Cool, Mama Mac.
And you're looking at about 15 different firms?
That or more, sir, yes.
Okay.
Booyaka. Love it. Love it. Enjoy being cut off from your inside info, deep state scum. How about this? Ukraine's missile strikes lose efficiency after the U.S. stopped sharing intel. Targeting for the HIMARS and Storm Shadows was done by using data handed by NATO allies. So they no longer have access to their targeting information because it's coming from the U.S. When Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky lit himself on fire in the Oval Office, U.S. President Donald J. Trump warned him sternly, quote, "Your problems begin now." And indeed, shortly after that, the U.S. stopped all military aid to Kiev, and right after that, stopped sharing military intel and forbade the NATO allies from sharing any U.S. intel with the Ukrainians, too. Without the information gathered by U.S. satellites, spy planes, surveillance drones, and intel assets, Ukraine can only hit static, low-hanging fruit targets. Trump's ban on sharing U.S. intelligence with Kiev via the, quote, releasable to Ukraine program is dealing a serious blow to Zelensky's war effort. Sputnik reported, quote, Ukrainian military's command and control capabilities have become increasingly dependent on intel supplied by the West. Without this information, Kiev's ability to plan combat operations will be severely degraded. Using high-precision weapons such as ATACMS and Storm Shadow will become problematic, because in order to use them to hit some sensitive Russian target, one must first locate it. Uh-oh. It's almost like Ukraine had no chance on their own, and they've just been being used as a proxy to try to start World War III. Ukrainian air defense effort will equally suffer greatly if information is not supplied about the Russian missile launches and airstrikes. Critical Ukrainian assets will become more vulnerable to Russian attacks, as without adequate intel, Kiev will be left guessing which high-value target will be hit next. Without data about Russian troop movements, Ukrainian command will be hard-pressed to anticipate and counter further Russian offenses. So sad. That's right, T. F-A-F-O. It's a pretty simple universal law of physics. Newton style, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if you have an action, if your action is F-A, fucking around, the equal and opposite reaction will be you finding out. Finding out! Threeper, there needs to be a way to brick these missiles so they can't be used at all. The ATACMS and stuff that we gave to Ukraine. I agree. Trump dives a very hard bargain, something Zelensky is finding out. Telegraph reported, quote, Ukraine's most powerful missiles were left frozen on Wednesday after the U.S. cut off intelligence sharing and demanded fresh talks with Volodymyr Zelensky. Crucial intelligence for long-range missiles such as HIMARS, which have been key to holding back the Russian offensive, went dark at about 2 p.m. on Hump Day. After Zelensky threw a spanner in the works of the minerals deal, and if you're unfamiliar with the spanner term as an American, that's the British way of saying a hammer. There's a cool band. It's actually like a one-man band from this multi-instrumentalist. I can't remember his name, but it's called Chimp Spanner, which kind of sounds like another way of saying monkey wrench, or is a spanner a hammer or a wrench? I can't fucking remember. But Chimp Spanner, kind of like monkey wrench, cool name. After Zelensky threw a spanner in the works of the minerals deal and it was put on ice, Zelensky is rumored to now have to offer, quote, additional concessions to get talks restarted. Nice. Ukraine was left exposed on Wednesday when it emerged that intelligence sharing had been cut. The U.S. also told allies, including Britain, not to pass on American intelligence to Kiev. John Healey, the defense secretary, was due to meet with his U.S. counterpart on a Thursday. So you can't there's no more targeting information for you. And Zelensky, maybe you should have worn a fucking suit and not tried to talk over the United States president in a wrench. There you go. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a wrench. Monkey wrench, chimp spanner. There we go. Thanks. Thanks, Woodgeek. Say it. Where is it? Spanner is a wrench, noob. Not to be confused with wench. Yep. Appreciate that. Let's see. What do we got next on the list? Oh, this is an interesting one. Senior Trump team officials allegedly holding secret discussions with top Ukrainian opponents to Zelensky, probing the possibility of holding quick elections. It's being reported. Of course, mainstream media will probably spin this as Trump is trying to overthrow the Ukrainian government. Sorry, you guys already did that. In 2014, Wendy Wild, representing the common censored Info Air Force jet fighter pilot call sign Wild thing. What's up, Wendy? Good to see you. I hope you're having a good week. So this is pretty wild. Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky is at this point an unelected politician ruling via martial law who appears to have not understood that the world has fundamentally changed with the arrival of President Donald John Trump. The U.S. president is a disruptor and is ushering in a new era of peace between the nuclear powers. If Zelensky doesn't wake up and join the effort, Trump has warned he won't last much longer. I think yesterday it arose that 4 senior members of Trump's administration reportedly held secret discussions with some of Kiev's top political opponents to Zelensky. Awesome. Awesome. That's so good, man. We need to make sure that there are elections over there. Like, for real. Oh, Trump's a dictator, but you're supporting an actual dictator in Ukraine. What dictator before has shrunk the size of government? You know, because that's what Trump is working on doing with the Doge and everything. He ain't no dictator. Losers in the press. Politico reported, quote, the senior Trump allies held talks with Ukrainian's opposition leader, Yulia Tymoshenko, a remorselessly ambitious former prime minister and senior members of the party of Petro Poroshenko, Zelensky's immediate predecessor as president, according to 3 Ukrainian parliamentarians and a U.S. Republican foreign policy expert. The discussion centered on whether Ukraine could hold quick presidential elections. These are being delayed in line with the country's constitution because Ukraine remains under martial law. Critics of holding elections say they could be chaotic and play into Russia's hands. Oh my God! Allowing the public to choose, allowing the Ukrainian population to have their way, may help Russia. Well, if that's what the fucking Ukrainians want, who are you to say otherwise? Oh, that's right, a dictator. With so many potential voters serving on the front lines or living abroad as refugees. If they don't want a war, they don't want a war. Who are you to override democracy? You guys love democracy so much. Come on. Come on, man. To quote creepy Sleepy Joe. Loki, you're driving me crazy, little Pete. Come on. Come on, Tiny. By now, we all understand that a Politico report will be hostile to quote all things Trump, including, of course, the peace process. So they have to smear former Prime Minister Yulia Tymoshenko as being, quote, remorselessly ambitious. Lunatics, man. Lunatics. But the lunatic bias from Politico pretends that Zelensky is polling well in the country when, in fact, he has less than half of General Valery Zaluzhny's numbers. The most recent poll the report alludes to, which shows Zelensky still comfortably ahead in the race for the presidency, was released right after the Ukrainian comedian lit himself on fire in the Oval Office and is clearly bogus. Clearly bogus. So this would be pretty cool if we were able to work behind the scenes to force new elections over in Ukraine. That's what the people actually need, is to have a voice. Let's see what, who posted this? Wood Geek in the chat, maybe? T. McGroin posted this from Attorney General Andrew Bailey. At Elon Musk, I'm here to report $5 billion in wasted taxpayer dollars allocated to fund a green energy scam and a massive land grab from Missouri farmers and landowners. I'm urging Doge to immediately identify and cancel any DOE loan guarantees for the Greenbelt Express project. Nice! Attorney General Andrew Bailey uncovering corruption to help Doge. Love to see it, man. Thanks for sharing, T. McGroin. How about this? Zelensky, a dead man? A dead man? Probably. So this is a little clip from PBD's Valuetainment, Patrick Bet David podcast over here.
Zelensky escalates this?
Yes.
He's a dead man. I happen to think that right now, Zelensky is probably a dead man.
What does that mean?
I think that what's about to happen, they're going to calm this war down. Russia's going to take Crimea. There's going to be a border similar to North Korea and the DMZ. The West has been doing that way, similar to the West Bank between Egypt and Israel. This is how modern wars have been solved. And Russia's going to get Crimea. Russia's going to get what it's want. All of our media is going to say, see, Trump gave it the sovereign territory back to him. But it's been happening over and over. And then I think the thing calms down, whether it's the other side of Ukraine. Remember, there's a whole other side in Ukraine that does not like Zelensky. He took out other guys. Zelensky escalates this?
Yes.
Very interesting. So that whole other side that doesn't like Zelensky, Is it possible that Donald J. Trump and his people have been talking with that whole group? It kind of seems like it, guys. Could we see an election in Ukraine? Hopefully. Hopefully. Some more disturbing Ukraine information over here. Alex Jones, at Real Alex Jones, warning, false flag alert. Ukrainian's ambassador to the UK says, quote, next target of Russia could be Europe. Oh, they're going to try to pull the Hitler. Putin wants global domination. He's going to attack Europe. Sure. Quote, we see that it's not just the, quote, axis of evil and Russia trying to revise the world order, but the U.S. is finally destroying this order. Interesting. Let's see what's going on over in Nya with Info General Joe.
So we see that the White House makes steps towards the Kremlin, trying to meet them halfway. So the next target of Russia could be Europe. The decision of the Cyber Command of the U.S. decided to stop any cyber operation against Russia. And the failure to qualify actions of Russia as an aggression is a huge challenge for the entire world and Europe in particular, because we see that it's not just the axis of evil and Russia trying to revise the world order, but the US is finally destroying this order.
During crisis talks in Brussels today, Ukraine's ambassador to the UK said Europe could be Russia's next target. Ambassador Valery Zaluzny, I can't say it. Valery Zaluzny backed up his alarming claim by slamming the White House for fomenting an axis of evil. Oh, we're now the axis of evil too. Well, yeah, the big globalist in Canada says they have the nukes against us. With Russia, by simply meaning the nation halfway in diplomatic talks that are now destroying the established world order. We can see that it's not just the axis of evil. The Russians trying to reverse the world order, but the U.S. is finally destroying this order. The one that starts wars, and the ideology of it is globalism, right, eating bugs and cutting our children's genitals off. He went on in his speech at the Security and Defense Conference. So the rest of the quotes are there. Let's see the video. Here it is.
So we can say that the formal conditions for the revision of the world order are obvious. And the reference point for this revision could be a future end of the war in Ukraine and the formation of the world order upon its results, because the world order now has all but ruined. So let's take a look at the US. It's obvious that the White House has questioned the unity of the whole Western world. And now Washington is trying to delegate the security issues to Europe without participation of the US. So we can say that in the near future, NATO likewise can stop existing, and a number of talks between the US and Russia, Russia being headed by a war criminal. We see that the White House makes steps towards the Kremlin, trying to meet them halfway. So the next target of Russia could be Europe. The decision of the Cyber Command of the U.S. decided to stop any cyber operation against Russia. And the failure to qualify actions of Russia as an aggression is a huge challenge for the entire world and Europe in particular, because we see that it's not just the axis of evil and Russia trying to revise the world order, but the US is finally destroying this order.
I bet Victoria Nuland wrote that axis of evil. Where are we?
Hilarious. I just want to highlight this quote, this axiom that 3% says over here. 1 is none, 2 is 1, and 3 is better. That's one of the cool military axioms that I learned reading Jack Carr's books, the James Reese series, which is really good. The first book, The Terminal List. Highly recommend that. Audiobook is awesome. You get to, it's like John Wick, except featuring the main character, a Navy SEAL, who finds himself at the center of a massive conspiracy, and every element of this book is based on real life stuff. There's like a Hillary Clinton analog character. There's the operation that resulted in the SEAL Team 6 being wiped out with a helicopter crash, an equivalent thing occurring in the Terminal List book. It's really good, and it's like definitely read the books as opposed to watching the Amazon series, because in the books you get to hear all of James Reese's inner monologue, and you get to learn cool stuff like that concept of 1 is none, 2 is 1, etc. So really good stuff, really good stuff. Let's continue over here at 3%.
We heard that before, all the neocons, all the lies, all the wars. It's been the West starting wars, the West funding Al-Qaeda and ISIS. The West destabilized the planet because the West has been conquered by the globalist. And so, America's dictating to us because they don't want to go to full war with Russia and pay hundreds of billions more and threaten all life on the planet. No, the globalists have been dictating to us. The EU's been censoring us and suing thousands of our companies and shutting things down. They're the ones, Keir Starmer, saying we'll arrest Americans that criticize our government. We'll come arrest you in your country.
I don't like when he says Keir Starmer. You got to say Keir Starmer to make it, sound like the type of dude that he is. Evil, tyrannical
His
bastard.
minister's saying that. If Russia acted like this, I'd be 100% against him. China's been in our business, pushing a bunch of crap. I'm against him. And then, it's terrible. They stopped offensive. He admitted it. The media here's one like, Trump stopped defending us from cyber attack. No, that's all there. And the spying is all there. But the offensive means that the United States for 3 years plus has been trying to break into the computers, the air traffic controlling, the government computers, trying to turn stoplights off.
Yeah, this is a good faith move on Trump's part to show that, we're operating in good faith. We're willing to move forward with peaceful cooperation, trade deals, mineral deals, et cetera. Let's stop fighting each other. Unfortunately, that sounds like liberal math. 1 is none, 2 is 1. Donna, it's like it's this thing where, like, if you have one pistol, you might as well not have any pistols. You need a backup. It's like it's about like the redundancies and security. So 1 pistol is none, 2 pistols is 1. If you have 2 pistols, you can feel a little bit safe, like you got at least 1. So it's not actually like a math thing, Donna. Just so you know, read the Terminal List, Donna. You'll love it.
That's what offensive cyber attack means, and that's why you see the Russian cities lights going on and off and weird stuff happening. I mean, about Stuxnet and the Iranians. That's nothing compared to this. So Trump's like, sorry, the West started this war. We know the West expanded up against you. We understand you want business deals. We'll make a deal. And people go, Ronald Reagan's rolling over in his grave. This was supposed to be the deal. And the Russians kept saying, okay, we're ready to do economic deals. Nope, we're just going to control everything you do, and you got to give us all your resources, and we're going to break you up. And then they took over Slavic country after Slavic country. Remember, starting with Serbia, blowing it up, and handing a third of it over to the Muslims? And then Putin would meet with Bill Clinton and say, okay, I won't do anything. They're like, good, Putin, good. And then it happened again and again and again and again and again. And Putin was told by his people, you let him take one more country. And the globalists are like, if we kill Putin, that'll fix. Oh, yeah, right. There's people a lot meaner than him over there. The Russians have never been scared to pull the trigger. So this is beyond totally insane. And again, when they say their order's over, Europe's collapsing. It's totally corrupt. DynCorp, Halliburton, NATO.
Ladies and gentlemen, the newest product in the Alex Jones store.
DynCorp kidnapping your daughters and sons. DynCorp and the UN busted for human trafficking. back in like the 2000s, or maybe it was even the 90s. I can't remember. Rapped about that in one of my old revolutionary rap songs. Cut It, Son, with my partner in rhyme, T. Mage. How about this one? New York Times interviews Mexican drug lords terrified of Trump's cartel crackdown. The most important thing now is to survive. Are they running fluff pieces for Mexican drug cartel lords? Like, what is going on over here? Sympathy pieces for the drug lords? Come on, Loki, stop flying down on the ground. Mexican drug cartels are reportedly worried about their futures with Donald Trump in the Oval Office. Yeah, good. According to a seemingly sympathetic report from the New York Times, the cartels are expressing fears that their business model is at risk because of the Trump administration's crackdown on drug cartels. The report states one cartel leader says he's trying to figure out how to protect his family in case the American military strikes inside Mexico. I know how you can protect your family. Don't get involved in drug cartels. Another says he's already gone into hiding, rarely leaving his home. Two men who produce fentanyl for the cartel say they have shut down all their drug labs. Good. It's like illegals deporting themselves. Shut your shit down or you'll be a pink mist. A barrage of arrests, drug seizures, and lab busts by the Mexican authorities in recent months has struck the behemoth Sinaloa cartel. According to Mexican officials and interviews with 6 cartel operatives, forcing at least some of its leaders to scale back on fentanyl production in the Sinaloa state, their stronghold. The cartels have sown terror across Mexico and caused untold damage in the United States. But here in Culiacan, the state capital, the dynamic seems to be shifting, at least for now. Cartel operatives say they've had to move labs to other areas of the country or temporarily shut down production. Quote, "You can't be calm. You can't even sleep because you don't know when they'll catch you." Should I do that in a sleepy Mexican accent? "You can't be calm. You can't even sleep because you don't know when they'll catch you," said one high-ranking member of the Sinaloa cartel who, like other cartel operatives, spoke on condition of anonymity for fear of capture. The most important thing right now is to survive," he added, his hands trembling. Oh, the poor cartel drug lord with his tiny little hands trembling. The poor drug lords. So, New York Times running sympathy pieces for the drug lords? Is that what's going on here? What the fuck? So, as predicted, Ian Carroll on Rogan talking about the Epstein files and Israel's role in the whole blackmail honeypot international control operation went viral. Ian Carroll, a podcaster known for discussing conspiracy theories, has recently appeared on the Rogan Experience, where he discussed controversial topics related to Jeff Ep, including allegations of involvement with intelligence operations linked to Israel. The discussion has stirred significant online reaction, ranging from support for bringing attention to these matters to accusations of promoting anti-Semitic narratives. Interesting. Israel. So the escape of the Jews from Egypt and going through the Canaanite territory, where they first in Egypt they were worshiping the sun god Ra, Isis, and then El, the Canaanite chief deity, the equivalent of Ra. When you combine the three, Isis, Ra, El, Israel. That's the origins of that name. Interestingly, there's a cool documentary where Jordan Maxwell breaks down the details of that whole thing. So, like we talked about before, Alex Jones backing Ian Carroll's take here, saying Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and her father were all intelligence operatives, Israeli intelligence operatives, and this fact is well documented. All the people running around attacking Ian Carroll for talking about this fact on Joe Rogan are only going to trigger the Streisand effect. Good stuff. The Streisand effect. From when Barbara Streisand, some reporter was taking pictures of her house and she freaked out and like made a big deal out of it. And it only caused
my flu remedy. It tends
Thank
to
you, JJ.
really help with all different kinds of things, especially nausea as well as digestive issues. And so eventually, what we're really talking about is those things that are going to boost your immune system, making sure that you're eating all of your cruciferous vegetables. Those are huge as far as making sure that you have all of your vitamins and minerals that you need to have a good, strong immune system in order to fight the fight even before you know that the fight's going on. And if you can do that, in most cases, if you do get infected with something, you can really minimize the amount of symptoms that you face as a direct result of it.
Nice.
And water.
And water.
Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. The water is for multiple different things. Number one, it helps to constantly keep a full flush going through your body, so as the toxins that you are getting rid of have the ability to get excreted out. And that's not just through urine, that's also through sweat, that's also through breath. And a lot of people don't realize just how much actual moisture you lose just by talking.
Right? And that's why we have water with us all times here too.
Exactly.
Right? Because we talk a lot. Right? So awesome. All right. So thank you. If you guys have any questions, now's the time to put them in there, whether you guys are actually about this subject, about something else. Put those questions in the chats so that we can see what you guys want answers to. It doesn't have to necessarily be related to the topic that we're talking about today, but we are moving on. Lord Sterling, how about you exhale like 1 to 2 pounds of H2O when you sleep every night? Is that right?
Yep.
Awesome, Sterling. Awesome.
Yes.
Share that out, everyone. Love that.
And I mean, that's something that I don't think a lot of people realize, that you actually do lose a lot just by breathing, because the oxygen and the vapors that come out of your mouth as you're breathing are far more than what you're breathing in. And one of the things that my grandfather was fabulous about this, by the way, he would have problems breathing. He was a very lifelong smoker, and he ended up quitting when I believe he was in his late 50s, early 60s, because he developed emphysema, COPD, all of that, and he started having a lot of problems. But what he would actually do is he would go in, I believe, pretty much daily. He would throw some garlic and chives and a few spices into a small saucepan of water, and he would start that boiling, take a nice towel, go over, put it over his head, and breathe in all those vapors that were going on. And he would do that, like I said, at least daily, which really helped him a lot.
I love this. That's why they use those breath recyclers in Dune.
Yeah.
Right. I love it. Sterling, I need to speak to you because I'm having major kind of issues with StreamYard. So let's hook up soon. I need to chat with you. Maybe you can help me out with this situation as well. All right. Yes, JJ. Speaking of ginger, he uses ginger honey combo with some fresh squeezed lemon juice with fresh brewed green tea. So good.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
And you're talking, I mean, all of that is power packed. You're talking about all your vitamins, especially C, and all those minerals that you're getting out of all of that. That would be, nutrition wise, that would absolutely be a super power packed
That's right.
drink.
Nice. Love it. Way to go, JJ. All right, guys. It is time. It is. You laugh so much. Don't you love this? Thank you, JJ. Is this true? Oh, I love it. JJ with his wonderful graphics, everyone here. But we got a few things that we want to ask Nurse Patrick if this is true. And then I got some other things I'm going to show at the very end, especially like JJ shared with one today that we want to talk about. But we want to get Nurse Patrick's opinion on a few of these here real fast. If they are loaded up, come on. Oh, that one's going to drive you crazy. Okay, is this the one? Okay, here we go. This one.
And pine, you can grow in about a 10 to 15 year cycle and get a pretty big size tree out of that. So I'm not sure that I necessarily buy that this was just for our forests that we're saving these. I totally agree that a lot of our long-standing hardwoods really need to be protected. And coming from the great Northwest, I am a huge advocate of protecting trees. But I believe that trees can also be a huge resource, as well as bamboo.
Right, that's what I was just saying. What about bamboo and hemp?
Right.
I mean, seriously, if you put hemp into the fields to literally pull these toxins out, you told you can't use it for certain purposes afterwards, or would you want to?
Right.
But you could use it for rope. You could use it for bags. You could use it for toilet paper. You could use it for clothing. And I'm like, what a win-win situation. But, oh, heaven forbid they do that, right? But you could be using these other products and save your trees still. Right? It's I don't know.
And,
oh my God, Raid!
This isn't necessarily the week for having a hemp conversation, but
it's coming.
But to that extent, that technically it was actually a legal mandate that everybody grow hemp at one time here in Virginia. And there was a reason for that. Hemp is a hugely versatile plant that can be used for not only those things, but so many more. And so, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that could be used in order to help add to the paper bag industry, that we could really be cutting down a lot of these plastics, if not eliminate them, especially knowing the amount of detriments that's being caused by these plastics at this point. But, they've also come out with different bacteria now that are breaking down plastics.
Right.
They have found certain, I believe it was a type of worm that breaks down plastics as well. So they are starting to understand how to break it down. But with all that being said, that doesn't do us any good if we're finding that it's also breaking down inside of us, and potentially causing all these massive harms.
And we are, and hello everyone from Common Censored. Hello, my sweet family over there. They're another one of my great, wonderful viewers. I love you. Thank you, Lord Sterling, for rating us tonight. I'm going to quickly say hello to people who are showing up. We got T, Skunk, Dirk, Donna, Talkies, I said that, T. McGroin, so many wonderful, wonderful people. I love you guys so much, and thank you for coming on over. Excuse me. And we are going to have a show about hemp and more. We are doing that. I just don't know how soon. Within a matter of by next month, I think it's coming up here, because there's so many things that we want to talk about with this that are just powerhouse with that, from your growing to cleaning, cleaning your air, cleaning your soil, right? There's so many uses for it and more. So you guys be tuned to that. I hope you guys will enjoy an episode like that. Let me know if you guys will. I appreciate that, because I got that right. Sterling, like, you had me, you had to grow hemp. That's right. Yes. And you could talk about it for hours. Maybe we'll have a combined thing too, Sterling, if you want to. Would love to be able to collaborate with you on that. All right. So let's ask another one. That's really, I'm excited to kind of see what Nurse Patrick says to this, because it's not so much one of these true stories per se, but I just want to see his opinion. I love to give him what do you think of this? Sometimes. Right.
And I can tell you that I have not seen these before.
No. Elon Musk, I think AI will be very helpful with the medical stuff. Right now, you can upload your x-rays or MRI images to Grok, and it will give you a medical diagnosis. I have seen
It is, I think that there are a lot of benefits to AI in medicine, and that he is referring to has already been proven to be extremely effective. And AI, even in lab work, is starting to prove to be very effective in detecting certain things that are showing, like, early remnants of cancers and early identifiers
Really?
of different diseases. Yes.
I thought he was going to have a so different reaction because he always says, "Stop going to Dr. Google or Nurse Google." But
No, that I agree with.
Okay.
That I totally agree with.
But which
Everybody
is
needs
also
to stop going to Dr. Google for different reasons.
But how's that different than going to some kind of AI generated, like it's called the growth doctor? Because even when you go to Google right now, it gives you an AI answer right at the top.
So let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
So while I believe that AI is absolutely essential, is essential to healthcare, going back to what you were saying, when you have Grok or whatever it is that is doing all of these things based on what you're uploading from home, that's going to be a little bit different because you are essentially giving a small picture of what's going on and saying, diagnose me based on that small picture.
Oh.
And that's not always going to be the best thing to do. For instance, the reason that I say that you shouldn't go to Dr. Google is because you can go to Google and say, I have XY symptoms. And the problem is that Google is going to give you what the most common answers to those symptoms are. But what it doesn't give you is the answers to what all your lab works are showing at the moment. It doesn't give you what all the other symptoms that you may not even know that you have going on at the moment. And so while it says that you may have a disease that is common to the XYZ symptoms,
right,
there are probably a million other diseases out there that are also common to those same symptoms.
Right.
And so what you're doing is perpetuating people, especially those that are either hypochondriac